Welcome back to my channel, the sundiataSMITH channel, guys. And I want to share with you guys today just a little bit about our meeting last week with the pediatric psychiatrist. So for those who do not know, we are a family on the spectrum, and I always use the term on the spectrum for two reasons. The first reason why I use the term on the spectrum, because I refuse to allow my daughter to be labeled autistic, not in a denial way, but more in a she is bigger than that label. Okay? And the second reason why I use the term on the spectrum is because we have yet to receive our official diagnosis for our daughter. And so we just don't know where particularly on the spectrum she falls. And so we're kind of starting that journey. We have been on a waiting list for 20 months, 2 years, guys. We have been on a waiting list, to get our official diagnosis for her. And so we had our first kind of preliminary meeting last week, and it went really well. We have not had our follow-up scheduled yet, because if you are a family on the spectrum, do you understand that a lot of our services are starting to be dropped by insurance companies? And so a lot of families in this whole community is really pushing for autism coverage. I know here in the state that we live in, I believe the cutoff is 6 years old. Our daughter's turning 8, and we are still trying to get her official diagnosis so we don't fall under that healthcare coverage, and that was a fight to get them to cover children up to 6 years of age. So for families like us, when we are past the cutoff, guys, we're out of pocket. And honestly, our next appointment is several $1,000s. Yeah, out of pocket. Several grand out of pocket. We don't have that type of money. So we're kind of right now trying to figure out, what are we going to do? Guys, what are we as a family going to do? Because the reality is a lot of families on the spectrum are in the same position that we are in, where your insurance companies are refusing to cover, and some states are making changes so they can mandate coverage, but a lot of that coverage is for early detection, for lack of a better word, early diagnosis. So if you're past, here in Georgia, you're past that age of 6, man, you're SOL. And that's just the real deal, guys. And so we are in that SOL boat. I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, this is a lot of money. And that's where we're at. That's the real deal. This is the real cost of life on the spectrum. And we're not even talking about children that need more specialized services. I mean, there are some programs out there where you can get, scholarships or loans or what have you to help you through that process. I mean, I'm grateful that our daughter is on the more optimistic end in terms of potential for independence. But my heart goes out to the families that need that 24-hour caregiver, that need that specialist to come into their home. Maybe they need medication for their child, whatever the situation may be, and we're paying out of pocket, guys. It's tough. It's tough. I had a person on Twitter saying, so is there no hope for, families in poverty? I'm not going to say that there's no hope, but I will say that because of the lack of insurance coverage, it puts families, and we are middle America, working class families, it puts us in very difficult position. You know, do we wipe our savings? Do we borrow money? Do we GoFundMe? You know, I don't even know what our other options are in terms of how do you pay for these necessary procedures. And so, yeah, I'm not going to say that there's no hope, but it definitely it puts us in a tough bind, and it forces us to make a very difficult decision. Do we beg, borrow, or steal, the money to continue medical services, or do we allow our child to go without? So, that's the deal, guys. That's the deal. Now, that aside, going back to our initial appointment last week, we met with a pediatric psychiatrist, and he got a chance to kind of sit and observe our daughter and take notes. And so we're ready for the next appointment. We just can't afford the next appointment. And our next appointment is where we get our official diagnosis. Yeah. But the time with the doctor was really good. I did not know how our daughter would handle it, so I kind of prepped her. I knew that we were going to a new facility that we have never been before, a new part of town that we've never been in before, and I knew that, she would be asked a lot of questions. So kind of the day before, I prepped her, asking questions, and just so she can kind of get used to it. And so she did really good. So when she got in there, she was kind of relaxed, and the older gentleman, and she kind of gravitated towards him like a child with her grandparent. And it was kind of sweet to see. And you know, he had like a little bin of toys, and she kind of sat and he observed her play. And she offered him tea. She had a little tea party there in the office, and he just kind of went along with it, with her, and I appreciate that. And even though I know he's a doctor and I know this is part of what he does, I always remember that you don't have to be giving of yourself, okay? People don't have to give their time. People don't have to give their heart. People don't have to give their services, their kindness. I mean, you just don't, I mean, there's a doctor at her pediatric practice whose bedside manner could use some help, okay? And but medically speaking, she is a very smart woman, and she knows how to do her job, medically speaking. But that softness and that compassion is just not there. And I don't think she has experience working with families. She's very coarse, And so it's very nice to see professionals who care. It's just nice to see professionals who care, guys. And so it was nice to have him sit and talk to my husband and I. It was great that he was able to come and just be a part of this, that his job was able to give him the time off to do that. And that was good. It was good. It was good for him to be able to share some things that, quite honestly, he doesn't always get a chance to share, because he is the main breadwinner in our family. So that's a hard-working black man, y'all. And so, he's not always here because he is working. And we are a one-income family. That's, I'm here with my children, and that is a decision that we have made as a family. Because if I were to re-enter the workforce, whatever income I had would go straight to childcare. So I would just be paying for childcare, which I can do here. I had shared with our doctor, the doctor that we met with, how in terms of my mindset of what I see with my daughters, she's almost 8 on the outside, but she's kind of about 4 or 5 or so on the inside. And my desire as a parent is to really get that balance, to get that inside caught up with her outside. And he shared something with me that I think I needed to hear. And he was like, your daughter is who she is. Like, that's it. She is who she is. Wherever she sits on the spectrum, that's part of who she is. And so instead of trying to force her to change, embrace where she is at. And I needed to hear that, to be honest, guys. In this whole journey, particularly in the last couple of years, I thought I was embracing her. I thought I was that caring, that understanding parent. And it turns out that, guys, I think there's a part of me that really has not accepted where she is. And it's not that that was my intent. I think I just didn't see things the way that this particular doctor saw things. And I needed to hear that. And since our meeting with this doctor, like, I see myself just embracing her quirkiness, for lack of better words, more. And just saying, okay, well, that's where she is. That's just how we roll, that's how she roll, and mommy rolling with her. Dad's rolling with her, little brother's rolling with her. And yeah, so I had a little wake-up call at that meeting, but I'm glad I did, because at the end of the day, I don't want my daughter to feel like we do not appreciate who she is in the fullness of who and what she is. And so I needed to hear that. And that's probably the biggest thing that I took away from our meeting last week. Now, when we're going to have our next meeting, guys, I honestly don't know. I will keep you posted. I am looking forward to it because I have my guesses about where kind of we fall and what she's dealing with, but I'm not a doctor. I'm mommy McStuffins. I that's as close to a doctor that I am, guys. So I want answers. My husband wants answers. The issue is, with the state of affairs for autism, not just research, but autism diagnosis and medical expenses, we just might not be able to afford answers right now, guys. That's the real deal. So, that's all I can say, guys. If this video has been eye-opening to you, it has been a help to you, a blessing, a benefit to you, or you know someone that it can be a benefit to, please don't forget to like the video. You feel free to share it. Thumbs up, hit the subscribe button.